If people only remember your product, they'll forget your brand. Lead with your message.
Educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work, an award-winning podcast where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here's your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
I thank you very much for listening today. So, here's what I would like for you to hear today. That your brand is more than what you sell. I'm going to repeat that. Your brand is more than what you sell. It's the story you tell. It is the story that you tell. So when we take a look at what is our brand, are we clear on what we're speaking about or what we're doing? Are we clear on what we believe in? Are we clear on our mission? Are we clear on the transformation that you stand for? And so, again, personal experiences. I wanted to assist nonprofit religious or religious organizations in understanding their brand. And so those are things that I was working towards. Unfortunately, because I rode the wave of what was transpiring in front of me, people started to consider me a website designer. And so then I started to embrace that. But that's not where I wanted to be. That's not where I wanted to transform lives. I wanted to touch individuals, especially those organizations, to make sure that their message was clear. Because I saw firsthand how churches, especially the one where I was a church administrator, how the community viewed them, and it was not in a positive light. Actually, the community believed that the church was closed down and that they were getting confused, the community, meaning they were getting the church that I was the church administrator in, confused with the church down the street as the church that gave out food and clothes during the week. And so they would pop over to the church and say, hey, do you have any food or clothes or whatever it is? And they would get us confused with the date, the time, the energy, the contact person, all those type of things. Now, I mean, some of that is valid, right? Because they were only a block and a half, 2 blocks away. And some of that is valid. But what was the message that my particular church, and it was actually my home church, what was the message that we were putting out there to the community? Because otherwise, if it wasn't for that food part, especially for that other church, no one knew or understood who we really were, because it appeared that our church was always closed. And that we were not open as a church for someone to come in and possibly pray during the week, to read some type of counseling during the week. Sometimes people need to just be touched and to let off some steam, hear something positive, those type of things. So the message wasn't always clear in dealing with my church. And I wonder how many other churches, using this as an example, are not clear. And so the people that's in your community are not clear. And that includes your community inside the doors as well as outside of the doors. And so for me, as I was putting my information out there, I was starting to be known as a website designer, but that's not where I wanted to be. That's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to utilize a little bit more of my administrative background, my ability to speak to individuals and change the narrative and help them continue to grow and mature, and particularly make sure that their message was clear. And in addition to that, my wife was working with some other organizations on some grant writing opportunities. And so we understood that, hey, when you start looking at your background and what you're known for and you're writing these grants, again, the message needs to be clear. So how do you ensure that this message is clear? On top of that, which is the bigger picture, are you just selling websites? Are you just selling that you're a podcaster? Are you just selling that you're a content creator? But is your message clear that you are a transformational coach, that you are one that helps people to change their lives? Now, again, to some people that might sound vague. But what I'm doing is helping people to change their message internally about themselves and not believing the hype, not believing what's being put on them, not believing in all the negativity that's surrounding them. But in order for them to get to another level, look deeper inside themselves to make sure that the message that they're putting out there is clear, which is now your brand is more than what you sell. So why does this matter? Why does this matter? People don't just buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So part of my connection was I was doing the website part because I was helping churches get their message out there in one way, shape, or form. It could have been websites, it could have been flyers, it could have been logos, whatever it is. So, but in the meantime, helping them to understand that even though that's what you're asking me to do, I'm still talking to you and coaching you through, hey, these are the things, these are the metrics, these are components that we need to be concerned about getting your message out there. So whether it's the color, whether your logo has this or your flyer has that, and what's the wording and those type of things. Let's understand what the brand really looks like, and does it coincide with your mission statement, your vision statement, what you would like for the community to know who you are. And so, again, people don't just buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Because your message builds emotional connection. Whatever that message is, people are buying the emotion that's attached to it. I'm doing this because I love what I do. I love transforming people's lives. I love transforming the message that individuals are putting out there. People attach to the emotional part. They're not going to just buy your product just because. Because a lot of times people buy what you're doing because they have a connection with you one way or another, right? So let's understand that. Let's make sure that the message builds an emotional connection. And with that, they will not forget your brand. Thank you very much for listening today.
Thanks for listening. Follow Maurice Chisholm on social media to stay connected and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work. Or will it?